Hello, everybody. How many of you have heard of Post Secret? Real quick. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Post Secret is a blog and it's a lecture series where anybody in the world can send in anonymous postcards with a secret of theirs. So they go from things like as tragic as I saw one was a little kid handwriting, and it said, "I wish that the sickness that killed mommy would have killed daddy." So they're really sad. There's some funnier ones like, "I asked you what you wanted for Christmas, knowing you were going to say me, but instead you asked for a divorce." Lol, right? That's funny. Okay, so I'm a big fan of this blog and of this lecture series. So I was reading it one day. This took place in downtown Seattle about 3 years ago, and I stumbled upon one, and it's of a hotel room, and it says, "I left a present for you in 302 underneath the nightstand." So it just so happens that I recognized this hotel room. It's not somewhere I'd stayed, but it's somewhere in Seattle that I knew about. And the odds of this are actually way out there because Frank Warren, who runs this, he says he gets thousands of postcards a month, so the odds that I would know where it was and it was in the city I was in are very, very low. So I quickly emailed everybody at the company that I was at. And I said, "There's this treasure out here. I have basically the map for it. I forwarded everyone this. Come with me. It's going to be really fun." And instantly I started getting email replies back at the company, and they're like, "No, it's a terrible idea. Don't do that. You're going to die." And it's funny, and HR is like, "You need to stop sending to all staff, Stanny." And then the CEO is like, "That's awesome. Totally go do that." So I went alone, unfortunately. Got in my car. I drove up Aurora. It was probably 4 or 5 blocks past Wade's Gun Store, if you guys know where that area is. It's a really sketchy part of town. So I go to this hotel, more of like a motel, honestly. I walk in, and I had printed out the postcard, and I go to the lady at the front desk. I said, "Hey, this is really weird, but I found this on the internet. Can I go into this room, 302, and go claim this prize? But I don't really want to pay." And she looks at me really oddly, and then looks at the thing, and she notices what room it is, and she just she goes white. She gave me one of the most horrible face expressions that I've ever seen. It was not funny at all. It was like she was seeing the ghost of someone who had killed her parents or something. She was very serious and very, very upset. So she's like, "Sir, can I see some identification?" And I was like, to check into the hotel room?" And she's like, "What's your name, sir?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, this was the internet thing. I think this is a misunderstanding. It's this blog." And she keeps looking at me. I'm like, "You know what? I'm sorry that I wasted your time. I'm just gonna walk away." So I start walking away, and she jumps over the reception table, coming at me. So I, being, a masculine person that I am, I ran away back to my car. And she's out there as I'm skidding away in a zip car, so it wasn't actually my car. And she writes down the plate numbers, or it looks like she's writing down the plate numbers. Right? So I go back to this company, and I tell everybody what happened. They're like, "Yeah, we told you it was the internet. You can't mix the real life with the internet." And I tell that part of the story for a while, and nothing really happened. So a few months later, I am Googling around, and I stumble upon a blog that talks about this incident of the Post Secret thing that happened to me in Seattle. And I start reading about this, and all of it makes sense. It makes sense why the woman was so terrified, and it makes sense why this person who posted the postcard used an anonymous service to do it. The phrase that they used to describe the object that was underneath the nightstand was a cold, severed hand. And they never found the body.